Is anyone there? Holy crap, B in real life. Not to be confused with B. Can you read me? I repeat, is anyone there? You can call me B. It's an original name no one else would ever use. I am an insider, someone who knows a lot about the company. Please understand that I cannot reveal my identity. I am going to tell you 3 truths that the company wishes to keep hidden over the following days. Tell me, please, why do you think you were hired by the company? Should I rephrase that? Let me ask you that like this, then. Are you satisfied with your job here? I would say so. Is that so? Well, I can't judge whether or not you're telling the truth. You're the manager, but you don't actually know anything about the company, do you? Would you say I'm wrong? Each time we speak, we'll need to be as brief as possible. I'm ending the call here. Contacting someone for a long period of time is dangerous. And with that, we have our first actual choice. We can either choose to expand safety with Netsack, or as I've been blatantly foreshadowing, we can do training with HOD. I want to get training early because the training research is a lot better than the safety research, or more specifically, one of the training researches is. Welcome back to Lobotomy Corporation. Last time we failed a day where nothing new was introduced, but this time something new was introduced, and that there is the data training department, which I have 3 people in now. Maria was moved here from information, Moraine was moved here from control, and the new employee, the mascot of the game, at least in my eyes, Bong Bong, has been added. I gave them level 3 temperance and I hired them, the rest of their sets are all level 1. And I really just gave them level 3 temperance because I just felt like it. The reason why Moraine was moved here and Bong Bong is because its main benefit is increasing the growth rate of the agent stationed here. Training for the rest of the game will essentially serve as, minus whoever make the captain of training I haven't decided yet, just a newbie dumping ground. Every single new employee will start in training from here on out just because the slightly faster training is worth it. Even, we can just move them to like saying whatever department we want them in after we put them in training for the day. That's what I'm doing with Marine and Bong Bong. They're probably gonna move up to control. Yeah, she's 2 temperance. You could work in information actually on sheep. I think about it. I'll solve her do one of those 2 things. I haven't really decided yet. But the other notable thing here is that some point in the day, I believe it is either Meltdown 3, 4, or 5, will be replaced by our noon for the first time ever. There are a step up from the dawns in terms of our deal threat, and notably, there is one that would probably make me end the day early if I see it, so let's just hope we don't see that one. Because the other 2 are not that bad. Well, one of them's way worse if you haven't played the game before, but I've played the game before. So with that information covered, let's get into the day. Today's shy look is a Teth abnormality with no Quilthoth counter that does black damage. It has a unique gimmick where it will constantly shift position and containment between one of 5 faces, which I will describe. Its very happy face, its happy face, its neutral face, its sad face, and its angry face. Whichever face it is behind, it depends on what its work result will be. If it is behind its smiling face, all of its work percentages will be increased by 30%. I mean, very happy face. And it will do half damage. Also, each time you get a positive energy box, you'll recover your 20% of your max HP and your max SP. When it's behind its less happy but still kind of happy face, or face number 2 if you will, all of your work success is increased by 10%, and if you get in a positive energy box, you'll recover 20% of your max SP. Neutral has no effects on anything, it's just there. The neutral is what its listed work rates are actually for. Its angry face, its sad face, I should just go first, decreases all your success rates by 30% and multiplies the damage it does by 1.5. Its angry face decreases work success by 50% and damage it does is doubled. So the real issue with getting it early, which our stats aren't really great right now, so I'd describe us as in the early game, is the angry and sad faces, because if you're not careful, they can easily kill agents. In fact, even if in the late game, if you're not paying attention and you have bad agents, it can still kill them. I had that happen to me way later in the game, and I'd like to admit, multiple times my first playthrough. So you'd think from the fact that all of its work rates are equal that it'd be good at training any stat, but unfortunately due to the healing on the happy and smiling faces, which are the ones you want to be aiming for, it's really only good at training repression or justice, because that's the only stat that has no multiplier depending on how low your HP is. Luckily, that's exactly what our facility needs right now. Another thing our facility needs right now is armor that isn't weak to red, which it also provides. However, only one copy, which is unfortunate, because I would really like to have more than one. Its weapon is also alright. It's a gun that you get 2 of. Definitely use it, Judd. I definitely want a more high damage weapon right now than just the gun. If there's one major downside to having today's expression in your facility, it's its gift. While it is quite humorous to have a giant flesh mask on your employees, I don't like having it on the ones that I've customized, which is this entire facility minus Christopher, so you can disable the gift's appearance on them, which I will probably do if someone of our agents that I actually care about gets it, which they might, because I'm probably going to have most evil train on justice on this. There's not really anything major that's a major selling point for today's shy look, but it's not really bad either. In this facility, it's great for us because just because it can raise justice, but it's probably not the best Teth at doing that. Like, it would not be my first choice. But other than that, it's pretty alright overall. As per the usual, before I actually start the day, we have to review our failures beforehand. Once again, I have failed today twice. First attempt just failed at Amber Dawn. I decided to try to tackle it as I typically do later on in the game. We just don't have the good enough equipment for no one to die as I'm splitting everyone up. Although the fight lasted for a while, it just ended up with Mr. Black because I forgot that his armor isn't weak to red. It slowed him down, he's going the whole way and he died. So I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna restart. That's what I did. And our beautiful second failure was the one new nose information I was afraid of. Without specifying, it's this one. I'll get into more details of how it works when I don't die to it, but little Effer was alone in a hallway and I forgot about him and he died. Bam. End of the day. He died pretty fast to it, but that's just how that one goes if you're not prepared. But with that, it's time for the actual successful attempt of the day. The first thing that I did was I ordered Marie to work on a new abnormality with repression, just to start training justice for her. You'll probably notice me canceling and restarting orders a lot with it, just because I have to make sure that it's in one of the 2 good positions for it. I also moved Moraine and Bong Bong to control and information. Control for Bong Bong and information for Moraine, just to have them train up stats. They're just in training because they get stats faster that way. Just had a really bad roll. It was neutral, so it was like 45% for success, and I got like less than half successes. Whatever. Just not really that much to talk about right now, just doing it as normal start to a day, ordering work on a new abnormality, failing its timing repeatedly. The incoming dawn is green, so it's something to worry about. The only one that requires special preparation right now is orange, or amber, or whatever you want to call it. It's actually amber. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. I had said I was fiddling with it, trying to get the best option. Her health doesn't really matter if you get the best roll because it'll heal her for every success, and it'll probably get like full successes. There's like an 80% chance for successes on each roll, so it's very likely that you'll get a lot of them. And she has a pretty high temperance stat, so it's even more addition to success stat. I can't talk. Working with sent Bong Bong to work on Saiyans just because they have low requirements. I gave Bong Bong level 3 temperance though, so I might move them to a Void Dream just tomorrow. I didn't do it today. Porcubus is being used for stat training also. So currently are only AG, which I definitely want more of those. Just getting information unlocked for today's Shy Look. And Doubt spawn in. So Mr. Black and Goon fight the one in control, and entire information department fight the one in information, and then Marie can actually just solo the one in training. She's definitely with enough stats and weapons to do it. The Doubts are not a threat at all. Like, they can do sanity damage pretty fast with their attack if there's a dead body near them, but the problem is they do red damage normally, so the sanity meter will not get affected by their main attacks. Like, if you notice, their little effort was like at half sanity, but it didn't matter because it was just going to do red damage. It ran out of corpses. It needs to use its attack. Marie's at like around half health after the one fighting a Dawn just by herself, too. They're not a threat, the green Dawns. They're by far the least threatening type of Dawn. Like, at least the purple ones can explode if you don't kill them right away. And release abnormalities, potentially. Just doing the classic fiddling with today's Shy Look. Once I have either a better Justice trainer or no need to train Justice or low level Justice or other things, that fiddle will no longer be necessary. I'll just send people in as when it melts down just to work on it, but for right now it's necessary just to fiddle like that. Unlocking more information. Its information just talks about the different effects of its faces, really. And now everyone who works on it has a 25% chance, has a 5% chance, not a 25% chance of getting a funny mask. Hooray! They can finally be beautiful or something. But more importantly, the main thing I want to do for the day ends is to get its armor, because we desperately want red resistance. And it's right around here where I actually notice what the noon is. Noon showed up a bit later than did on my other attempt, where it spawned in at one meltdown level later, because the noon's a random time in between 3 and 5, I believe. So either 3, 4, or 5. It might just be 3 or 4. I'm not sure. But regardless, it's coming. So for the violet noon, you need to do something before it spawns in. You need to move everyone outside the main rooms of their department. So I moved training, which is just that one person, Marie, and information. I moved training and control in the same elevator, and then moved information into a hallway. And I had Moraine work on a Void Dream. Because as soon as we tip the meltdown level, three pillars spawn. I believe there's one for each department until you get to the 5th department, and there's just those 5 for the rest of the game. And they always spawn in the first 5 departments. If they're in the room with the pillar when it spawns in, they'll take a massive amount of red damage, and it would probably instantly kill every single one of our employees. Other than their initial spawn, though, they're not very threatening. They do very low amounts of black damage. They do have a secondary attack, though, so it is still definitely worth killing them. Which is why I'm having everyone do it. Their secondary attack, they will glow purple, like that, and lower the Kolthoth counters to things by 1 in the same department. I don't remember if it's everything or just 1 abnormality, but as you might have seen, Porcubus was at 1, so now Porcubus is loose in a random department, which just so happens to be training, which is not really that major of a threat because there's nothing really at the end of the hallway. I just want to get rid of it though, because I could just ignore it and let it be free for the rest of the day, but I lose 3 whole lob, which is like basically my entire reward for finishing the day. Unfortunately, while we can kill Porcubus, we don't really have good enough stats to do it fast, just due to its effect of doing extra damage to people without level 4 temperance, and its effect of being immune to range damage with like half the people who meet what's the word, stat requirement have range damage. So I'm moving everyone into training just so I can see who can actually do damage to it, and then I realize, after I take stock of everyone, it's literally just Marie and Goom who can fight Porcupus without dying instantly. So I devised a really stupid battle plan. At least I get to hear First Trumpet, I guess. Good song. I believe right now just the noon spawning in is considered a First Trumpet by the game. Yeah, it won't be that way for very long. But Marie and Goom are the ones who can fight this, and it does a lot of damage to them. So, like, after all that time, Goom lost more than half his health, so I had to get him out. So I was like, whatever. And the fight began. It was very long. I assume I haven't been able to deduce by the fact that music suddenly became chipmunk-esque. Porcupus's laughter is great, sped up. But what happened was, this fight was taking forever, and I was like, well, I might as well continue working with today's Shiloh, because my one if I can get its equipment. So I selected somebody who could make use of the training, and I didn't really care about getting the mask, who could definitely unequip it. There were several candidates, because anyone who's level 4 can just turn off the appearance of gifts if you don't like them. But I ended up deciding on Christopher just cause. So Christopher walks into the room with Porcupus, just immediately goes into working because he won't have to cross it. And while I'm trying to time today's shy look, Goom and Marie can get healed. And so this continued for a very long time. It was like 8 or so minutes of this, just repeating. Because Porcupus is an HE, so it's taking reduced damage from our weapons because they're both Teth. But our only HE weapon user who would do neutral damage to it doesn't have enough temperance to fight it yet. So what we just have to do is just loop forever until eventually it dies. It was, as long as I was paying attention to Marie and Goom, they were just fine. That's why I wasn't ordering anyone else around, just so I didn't forget. Because I'm pretty forgetful. And just timing today's Shadowlook gave me something to do while I was waiting. So, I mean, I'm glad I have it. But today's Shadowlook is the only abnormality in the entire game to do a sort of position-based gimmick like that, by the way, in case you're curious. It's completely unique. I think it's actually one of the later ones that was added into the game too, but I'm not sure. I don't know. That's completely based off of nothing. I don't know the development history of this game that well. I was a bit confused because randomly was saying Goom had like more SP than he actually has, and I was just confused about that. I don't know what that was at all. So I'm just gonna ignore it, like I did in the EK. But with finally, we've gone to the last fight against Porcupus out of our several fights. Porcupus goes down. I actually paused because I was going to have Goom retreat, but we ended up being fine. So with Porcupus down, I can actually end the day. As typical, I'm just going to end up Meltdown level 5 because it's a good time to stop, at least in my opinion. There's just not... I could drag it out to grind for stats, but I don't think I'll have to. I might regret doing that later. I don't know. There is an upgrade that would make it's not really super efficient to do until a couple days from now, so I'm trying to imply, which might make it obvious what I'm beating, whatever. I switched from doing Marie on to Shadowlook to Christopher just cause. No real reason. Everything melts down. So we have everyone's tend to work on everything except for the dangerous stuff to work on, which is, well, not really, it's not really dangerous, but the annoying stuff to work on, which is in this case, Old Faith and Promise. As is typical, it is completely ignored, and we just lose the energy, which is, again, not that big of a penalty. It's like 20 energy. Big deal. That's what we make in like 2 works on today's Shy Look. And it's not like we're getting any extra energy anyway. We finally have the armor for today's Shy Look. And one of the weapons, so soon we'll have everything we need from it. I don't know who I'm going to give the armor to. But it's definitely going to be helpful having a set that's 0.7 to red instead of like 1.2 like half of our armor is. Especially when we don't have a really great instinct trainer. I mean, I guess Porcupus is okay, but There are better ones in its tier. The one kind of annoying thing about having people outside the door is constantly having to click on their names again when you order from Loyalty, which is the default menu. Like, it's 2 clicks to get Bong Bong to work on Fairy Festival, for example. But other than that, it's not really a big deal what department everyone's in. You can shuffle them around as you need to during the day. And there's a secondary way of getting people to work on something that would only have them up. I just prefer using the main menu. Subverting expectations by having Marie work on today's tail look. I always call it one sin. That's the last work of the day. She got it hit on neutral, which is not completely efficient, but whatever. We have everything that we need from it, so there's no reason to keep the day going after this work. Aside from just grinding out stats, I guess, but I don't really feel like doing that heavily. And then I just noticed Christopher got the funny mask gift. What a beautiful day. And with that, the day's over, finally. We've hit level 3 Fortitude on Goom for like the literally 1 Instinct work he did, and then just the literally 1 Temperance work he did. I kind of forgot to keep having Mr. Black or Temperance, so he's still level 3. Marie's on the barrier between 5 and 4 Prudence. It means her gift is going to bring her up to 5, but she's at level 4 naturally. Her Justice level is level 3, as could be expected. Christopher's Justice also leveled up, and he got a ton of Justice experience. They did a lot of work with today's Shy looks, so that's to be expected. Moraine leveled up for Fortitude and Temperance. Again, she did a lot of work, and she's in training now, so she'll just gains a little faster than everyone else. And Bong Bong, even though they're just working with Saiyans, also gotten a few stat ups. Nothing major for them, though. What we really want for abnormalities right now is stuff that doesn't make us weak to red, because that is what we have a glut of. Our problem switched from having no justice, because we just fixed that, to having that. We have his 00256, which, oh no, TO1 is 68, where does one go when they die, and 00155. So these two are both HEs, and I would go do a random spin, but unfortunately 00256 is part of a set of 3 that I desperately want to get all 3 for. I had to do my first playthrough and failed, so it is a natural automatic pick. You might figure out what I mean if you see it in the next part, but probably not. So we're taking this, even though it's a Teth, the other 2 are HEs, just because of its ability. But it does have fire resistant armor, I believe, so it's decent for our facility right now, I guess. And now, welcome to Shy Person Lore. It's a good day. Are you so shy today? One sunny day, when they were sincerely drying the laundry in the yard. Sadness struck suddenly. In our city, sacrifices for corporates is to be highly praised, honor for their deaths. No reason for you to cry either. Rather, you should be glad. Look at that look on your face. That kind of facial expression isn't recommended in our city. Goodness, why make such a face? You're making others feel gloomy too. Please be more considerate. You don't live in this world alone, after all. You're very poor at expressing your emotions. You must be quite shy. Here, try to look more pleased. That way those living in the outskirts will be more envious of us. Put a bigger smile on your face. It's not that hard. Next time, try to express yourself more clearly. It's very important to express oneself in this society. One sunny day, just like that day, they sincerely dried the laundry. They dried their own skin. Everyone is finally satisfied and they showed a bright smile. If the people who asked what was wrong, they would respond, I'm just shy, that's all, just shy. If one tries to look at the face behind the skin, the results will not be pretty. The space behind their skin is the only personal space they have left. Leaving it uninvaded is the last bit of generosity the city can offer. What a beautiful story.